guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just here to have another play with my glue book. If you saw my previous video on this book, I'm doing a sort of hybrid journal. Never done one of these before. I'm not really too sure whether anyone's done one of these before, to be honest, because I'm not sure it's actually a thing. But basically I'm trying to combine like a junk journal with a glue book. So I'm just going to have odd pages that are glue book pages, and then predominantly the book will be full of plain pages for journaling. So far in this journal, this book, everywhere that I've done a glue book page, if you see what I mean, I have done a double page spread. So, you know, everywhere that there is one, it's a double page, if you see what I mean. But what I thought we could do is have a play and see how, you know, it would be just having one. And then what I would do is obviously paint the facing page for a journaling page, just, you know, opposite it. So let's just have a go at doing a couple of, you know, just plain, not plain, single side spreads. So I've got these little images here. These are from a kid's book. Journal, not a journal, sorry, a kid's book. And I thought these gorgeous images here in the frames would be absolutely ideal for this. So I'm just going to cut these out. Again, I mean, I probably should have cut them before coming on, but you know, if you kind of do too much prep, then I feel like people are not really seeing what you're doing. And I know that I've said this so many times before. When I'm watching somebody's video, I like to see all what they've done, because, you know, chances are they're going to do one thing off camera, and that will be the one thing that I wanted to see how they did it. And now, I'm not saying that the one thing would be cutting these out. Of course, that would not be, you know, you wouldn't be missing anything, would you? But you know what I mean. So, yeah, I just, you know, I just like to do it all together, so that you know that you're getting the whole picture rather than part of a picture. Right, talking of pictures. So that's one. Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? Right, now this one's got this man's head in the way. So I'm just going to cut around it anyway, and cut around where I imagine the shape of that frame would have been. And then hopefully we'll just try and cover up, you know, where his head is, so that it's disguised. Again, you know, who knows whether that's going to work or not, but you know, if it doesn't and it looks rubbish, we can just not have it. So, aren't they just lovely pictures? So yeah, I mean, I talked about this in the last video. I've never done a glue book before, and you know, my take on them, and I'm not saying that this is right, but you know, my take is you can just have a right eclectic mix of, you know, anything and everything. So all your sort of favourite, or not necessarily favourite, but you know, things that you quite like, you can just incorporate onto the glue book page, but in a sort of new way, or you know, an eclectic way, or yeah, a new way. So I mean, these obviously, these were in a children's book, and we are now going to present them just in a different way in our glue book. So it's kind of breathing new life and new, not uses exactly, but new life and new layouts for the original images, or even text and pictures, text and words, and you know, anything that you're going to be popping onto there. So there we go. Now I'm thinking this one I could keep for this page. So what I'm going to do, because I'm obviously really rubbish for losing everything, I'm going to paperclip him onto here so that I don't lose him. Because I'm thinking when I then paint this page, I could just glue him on, so that I've got a little bit of continuity from one side to the next. So maybe I could have those down there. Maybe that one there, or those two, sorry, there. So let's have a look and see what else we've got that we could decorate this with. So with my, you know, new fussy cuts, which again, you know, when I introduced these in my last video, they weren't yet in my shop. They're still not in my shop at the point of doing this video, but hopefully they will be in my shop by the time this video goes live. I'm not quite sure what these are going to be called, but I may call them something like Glue Book Favourites, or I might just go for like ephemera extras, a bit like the extras that I've got with my grungy pieces. So I'm not quite sure, but yeah, hopefully they will definitely be in my shop anyway for the, you know, to coincide with the video going up. So, oh, I love that against the blue. Really, really nice. Let's have a look. Oh, we also have here this picture of this boat, which I thought maybe would go really well on this page, because a lot of these people, they look like, I don't know, like, you know, admirals and captains, or, well, they perhaps weren't called captains, but, you know, admirals of a ship from days gone by. So maybe something like that. So I'm just going to pop those there for a moment. I've also got these little stickers. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to use those or not, so I will hold fire before I try and use those. Now, I'm just thinking, these, or this bit here, was where I shrunk that down. So I'm pretty sure I've got bigger ones that I've printed without shrinking down, which I might prefer. I'll just cut that one out. Let's just try that. Oh, she might be a bit busy. And let's try and cover her up like that. And then what we could do is maybe have the boat on there. Come on in, sweetheart. Okay, so we could have like the two bits of the blue, and then there's some bright flowers. So let me just see how they would look. They might not look very good, but they might look okay. So, you know, you don't know unless you try, do you? And sometimes it's those things that you least expect, isn't it? That when you put them on, you think, ooh, you know, never would have thought that, but actually that looks really cool. So let's cut these out. So these are the original size, and the smaller versions I just printed 2 to a page. So I did them nice and big because I thought big would be really fun for this project. But yeah, I mean, if you didn't want them so big, you could just print them like 2 to a page, or even 4 to a page or something if you wanted. Okay. Just cut these out. Not sure that that's quite so good. Well, actually it's quite nice like that. I wonder if we should have those like more straight. Okay, right, let's have a look and see what else we need to bring this all together. Maybe a pink a pink stamp. I think these are looking very small, if you see what I mean. They're looking quite cluttery on that page. Now I've also put some bird fussy cuts into my shop. So again, I haven't at the point of doing this video, but hopefully they will be by the time that I've actually uploaded the video. Right, let's just see how any of these look. Oh, I've got one that's ready cut out. Let's just try him. Oh, he's not bad actually. Not too bad. Right, let's just put those down. Right, hold on. Just seeing. Oh, come on. What else have I got here? I've got these bits. So I feel like I need a couple of quite big bits on this page because those heads, you know, in the frames, they're quite tiny. So I don't want it to look really cluttered, you know, like where there's hundreds of really tiny things. So I feel like I need to now have a couple of bigger things on here. Right. Right, I'm going to get gluing a couple of things down because I do find that that always does help me a little bit. You know, because apart from anything else, I can't then change my mind. It's like, oh, even if I regret it and think, oh, I wish I hadn't glued that there. Once they're on, they're on. And that for me, I think is quite helpful. Even when, like I say, you know, I actually then regret it and think, oh, I wish I'd put that somewhere else. It's helpful to have a starting point, I find. So, yeah, I'm going to take that right to the edge of the page. Like that. Okay. Right, let's just have a look. I quite like that there. I mean, do you think maybe there's too many of these? Maybe that's what I'm struggling with. Maybe there are just too many. Maybe I'm better off with less. Because, you know, occasionally less is more. I mean, as you know, normally I'm a more is more when it comes to crafting, but maybe in this instance, maybe it's a bit of a less is more situation. If we have that there. I've also got a black backgroundy piece. So let's just try that on there. Because, you know, maybe it needs something quite contrasty. Again, you know, this is just trial and error. It might look rubbish, but it's always worth trying, isn't it? Because you don't know unless you've tried it. Let's just see. If we had that like that. Now, do I want one of these flowers? Is that just too big? I've got a smaller one, so let me just try the smaller one. I can't believe that I had never actually done one of these glue books before. I think I hadn't, because I always thought, well, what would I do with it? You know, how would anyone use it? It would just be like something to flick through. But I'm really praying, you know, that by mixing it in with journal pages, it will have like a function. I mean, you know, I don't know, obviously. I don't know. That's just how I'm hoping that it will turn out. Right, I love how that looks. Maybe not with the flowers. So now I'm thinking I've got some clock faces. So maybe, excuse me for fidgeting around all the time on my chair, but let's just pull these in. So I'm just thinking, let's cut this one out here. Oops. I mean, this is a nightmare cutting out a circle, isn't it? Yeah, they're definitely my least favourite thing to fussy cut. Circles, they're just not great. Right, check I've got that vaguely up the right way. Okay. Well, to be fair, I quite like how that's looking now. So I'm going to, I think, commit to that and glue that down. Do I want that close up or with a space? Let's have it with a space. So again, just, you know, for me, I just find it so helpful once I've got something stuck down. So there we go. Like that. Okay. Oh, I keep thinking I must get on with doing some jobs. You know, I mean, this is my job, you know, but I mean jobs like around the house, so that when we're all allowed out again, I feel like my house is looking spick and span. I've got this horrible feeling that nothing's going to really have changed. So, yeah. We were really great and we got straight on with the garden and things like that, like the first weekend, and did like a couple of things. And then since then, it's just gone into, yeah, not a lot of jobs around the house are taking place. So, yep, something tells me that when it's, you know, when we're actually allowed out again, I'm going to just look back and think, wow, how I wasted that time. How I should have made more of it. Right, I quite like how that's looking. Now, just wondering whether I want to pop that postage stamp there because it picks up that pink from there. So I quite like that. Now, I have got this space here, so I mean, I realised, you know, you don't have to fill every single space, but sometimes it's nice to, isn't it? So I just have a look and see whether we want to pop anything else in. Oh, I quite like it like that. I know it's kind of weird and a bit cluttery, but there's something quite nice about it. So, yeah. I mean, I think, you know, the point is of these pages, these glue book pages, is that they're supposed to be, you know, interesting and different and unexpected. So, to me, this feels unexpected. Definitely unexpected. You know, not predictable. So, yeah, hopefully it's interesting to look at. Just pop that flower down. Okay. Put that down there. Okay, and then this one up here, like that. I really do love these images in these frames. They're so cute. They're just my type of thing, to be honest. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm just drawn to stuff like that. Really do love them. And look at the colours. Aren't they beautiful? I mean, that's just got that lovely fuchsia pink. And this one, oh, it's got that beautiful colour green in there, which I just love. Right, I'm going to pop this one here. obviously the facing page, you know, I haven't painted it yet, so I won't be sticking that piece down just yet, but once I've painted it, that's when obviously I will stick that down. So I'm just going to have that clock face. Oh gosh, chucking my glue around. Okay, like that. Mop that up a bit. And then pop that bird down. Again, I mean, this bird just is picking up the colours of the little man in the frame just really nicely, because he's kind of red and green, which is just right for the colours of this man here. Let me just pop that up there. Okay. So I'll pop him like that. Okie dokie. So yeah, I mean, what I'm thinking is I will do some like journaling cards or something, you know, that I will maybe kind of attach to some of the pages just with paper clips. And again, I can just do them in a similar style to the glue book pages. That's, you know, that's the plan I'm thinking. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be how it turns out. Okay. And then what was I putting there? I was just putting that man there, wasn't I? So we're just going to pop him here or here. Oh, I'm going to have to stand up and look down on him because I can't tell whether he looks better on the blue or like up. So that's him on the blue. That's him up. One up. Prefer him up. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay. How cute is that page? It's just like really sweet, isn't it? I mean, I realise it's a little bit of a weird mix of stuff, but I do really like it. Now I'm just seeing, no, definitely can't really incorporate those words there anywhere. So yeah, probably kind of have to just leave it as is now, I think. Oh, am I just getting too much stuff now? Just take it away. Oh, you see now, I'm like, oh, that looks good there. Because when I take it away, I then think, oh, it looks a bit boring. Let me just cut this down here. Oops. So this one I had torn around already, even though I haven't really torn anything in this glue book. For some reason I'm cutting around everything, but actually I don't mind these little tiny bit of torn pages or torn edges. Don't think it really even shows up too much, so pop that on like that. Oh, I love that page. It's so cute. I mean, I know that's just really weird, and yeah, probably people are thinking, what's she talking about? But I just really like how it looks. Okay, so that's that one. So that was my first single page spread. And then on the other side, I've got another one prepped, ready to go. As you can see, I didn't have enough sheet music to be able to cover the entire page. But that's fine, because I can obviously fill it in or just quickly, you know, paint it up around there. So I might just paint it up, and I might paint it with obviously the pink that will then tie it in to the, you know, the flickable, the, you know, the journaling pages. So I've got some acrylic paint here. Oops, she says. Yep, I've got my acrylic paint here. So just going to fill that in those spaces. So, oops, like that. And, you know, I'm not going to worry because obviously I'm going to be painting that facing page anyway. So, you know, if it's going over there, that's fine. It's going to be painted anyway. Oops. Come on. And then just paint this little space here. Well, not really little space, but this section of the page anyway. There we go. Okay, so what I've done on the other pages, I've actually given them 3 coats of paint. 3 very thin coats rather than sort of one great big thick coat. Again, if you know, look at my tutorial on painting magazine pages, I do say about that on there because it's better to do thin pages than like one thick coat, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think probably the key is just be a bit patient and do thin coats really. So that's that page. Oops, I've just noticed, just missed that bit there. There we go. So that looks okay. Right. Now, obviously, I am going to be gluing things down on here, so I'm not going to worry too much about doing my 3 coats unless I feel it, you know, it's not going to be covered up. So what else have I got here? Because I'm doing an eclectic mix of images and stuff that's going to be in this journal. Yeah, I might as well call it a journal, really. I mean, it is like a hybrid thing. But I've got the Enid Blyton teddy bear's tail. I'm just going to take my cardigan off because I'm actually getting quite warm now. Okay, right. So these are just black and white images, unlike the Enid Blyton one that I did in the last video. So I'm just going to again flick through and find, you know, a really cute image. Oh, I have to say this one's really cute. I don't know quite what she's doing, but oh, this is the one where she's got a stitch. I thought, well, what's going on? She looks at a really strange angle, but that's what's going on. Perhaps I will use this because that's very sweet. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's just too big. I thought, oh, I'll have quite a big one because the pages in this book are quite big, but actually now I'm thinking maybe that's a bit too big. So let me just again flick through and see, just see what other pages or what other images there are. Oh, there's so many cute images in here, to be honest. I could just be here all day. So, right, let me make a decision so that you are not here all day, because yeah, it's all very well me being here all day, but probably not a great deal of fun if you're here all day, is it? Okay, let's just take this one, and I think what we'll do is, now I was thinking, do we fussy cut her out, or do we just cut out the image in like a square? Probably the image in a square, I think. So let's just cut that down. We'll see how it looks. Oops, don't want to cut her hands off. Oh, now I've got a bit wonky there. I'm not sure now. Oh gosh, it's so difficult, isn't it? Oh, perhaps I should have cut her out, to be honest. I don't know. Right, let's try putting her with some things and then see whether you know, whether she improves. Well, not that she needs to improve, but, you know, see whether my liking for her improves. So again, let's just take a couple of these bits and bobs from here. I'm thinking again, let's use a black piece to just have like some complete contrast with her. Oh, I just kind of think, should I cut her out, to be honest? But then is she going to look really odd cut out? Because she's got that weird angle going on. Oh, let's just see. We can always use a different image, can't we? Oh my gosh, she's going to be fiddly to cut out. Oh my gosh, I can't even see whether that's part of her dress or not. She's going to be an even more strange shape by the time I'm finished with her, I can tell you. Because I actually can't really tell what's dress and what's not. So if I thought she was looking a weird shape now, she certainly will be. She'll be looking like the weirdest shape on the planet. Okay. Just take that in like that. Okay. I'm trying not to use like the same images twice, i.e., you know, the same book twice in here. I mean, again, I do really struggle with the whole everything being matching normally. So I'm really trying to be very eclectic and very, you know, mixy-uppy in my style with this book. So it's like really, really, really interesting to look through and really full of surprises and unexpected pages. You know, I don't want it to be like, oh, well, you know, I've seen that before. That just looks the same as the last page. I want it to be full of like unexpected things. And it's like, oh my gosh, look at that page. Oh, wow, look at that one. You know, so it's got some excitement and, you know, you don't know what to expect when you turn the page to it. So that's the hope. Oh my gosh, her hands are fiddly, I must say. There we go. Well, let's just leave it like that. Oh, that does look better, I think. Even though she is doing that weird shape, but yeah, she does look better being cut out. Okay, right. So we have her there. Now, let's cut out a couple more bits from here. So these are, you know, full size. I haven't shrunk these ones down at all. So I've got a clock face here. So again, let's just cut that out. Like that. I'm just wondering whether I could mix her with some flowers from this book, from the, you know, this book. Let's just have a look. No, they're like all fairies on the back of there. It's not that page. Look at this one. I mean, these are very pretty, aren't they? But whether or not I could actually cut those out, probably not. Right, let me pull the book back in. And just see. I mean, it has got obviously an abundance of flowers. Again, finding some that don't have something gorgeous on the back is going to be a problem. Oh, I'm thinking this house maybe would look quite cute behind her. Let's just have a look. I don't know how I can make that house look good because obviously that girl's head's in the way. Let's have a go. Let's see what we can do with that. So if I just cut the house out. Just going to cut it straight down here, I think, like that. And I just wondered whether she might cover up that girl's head. She does. She does. So that works out okay. We could have that up there. Okay, right, let me put that book back down beside me, and then just cut out a couple of the pink flowers. Like that. Okie dokie, and then oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? So obviously I need to cut this down here because it's obviously hanging off the page. So just going to trim it across there. Like that. And then she would go here. Like that. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? I'm quite liking that. Now, do we want any other stuff? Just see, got this piece here. Oops. And obviously this is, you know, again, this is a single page spread. So opposite, I'm just going to paint it and, you know, maybe kind of be able to tie it in by having something else, maybe from this book, on the facing page, so as it sort of ties it in nicely. Oops, let's just pop that there. Now, do we like that blue clock, or do we think a more colourless clock would be better? Just have a look. Hold on a moment. Oh gosh, come on. Right, hold on. I've got this one here, so it might be that this is better. And actually, also got this. So just hanging on to that for a minute. Let's just cut this out. Okay. Oh my gosh, look. It's all going so well, and then just... That's how I often am with circles. You know, you think you're going well, and then suddenly get to like the last bit, and I just then, you know, completely hash it up at the end. So I've got that. Now, I'm just wondering whether we want this clock here. So I'm just going to, again, fussy cut this clock out. I mean, if you know, buy these printables, this clock's very wiggly at the bottom. But, I mean, I just find just move your scissors, you know, in and out at the bottom, and it will look okay. You know, I really do. And I know I say this all the time. I really do think circles are the worst, you know, things like this I actually don't think are so bad, because, you know, they're quite forgiving. Nobody really knows how precise those bits were at the bottom. Whereas, I mean, a circle, you know, like just now when I cut that out, it was pretty apparent when I then didn't finish on the same line that I started. Okay. And I know that lots of people do sort of mention the fussy cutting, but honestly, I mean, I've said this so many times, my scissors, they're just those ones from the 3-pack that you get from IKEA. They're like £1 for 3 pairs over here in the UK. And I don't use the other sizes. I buy them and I just use the big ones. The other ones I kind of put, you know, around the house. Just luckily, I heard something, and my phone, which was like on vibrate, it was doing something weird whilst it was in like the holder, and obviously a call was coming in, and so it was then, it flicked off, and it was just by luck really that I kind of noticed it was, you know, doing something weird. So yeah, but you didn't miss anything. I was literally just fussy cutting that that clock. Right, so I'm just going to get sticking down here, and I'm just going to stick this house down. Like this. Okay. Okay, so we just pop the house down just here, and again I'm just trying to put it, you know, right to the bottom of the page, like that. Okay, now I did quite like that clock there, so don't know, oops, whether I need this as well, so let's just check. I have that like that. Oh, well, you can't like it. Yeah. So I'll just pop this little piece down here. Okay. Just pop it down there. That's not right at the bottom of the page. It's pretty close, but not quite there. And then just going to pop her on like that, but with the clock just tucked behind her. So I'm going to glue the clock down first. Okay. Right. So just pop the clock down like that. Okay. And then she's going to go on there. And we're going to have that there, like that, I think. And then the other thing that just sort of caught my eye and I thought would look really good on this is maybe some of my number tabs in the, I've got some with the red numbers, and I just thought, ooh, that might look really good on here. So let's just pop her down, trying to cover up that whole head, you know, behind her that was on that doll's house. Right. Okay, so that's her, and then just before we glue these down, I've also got this, weirdly. It's like from May 1966. Which I just suddenly thought, oh, this Hello Dolly, would that look good? Gosh, I'm so sorry. We're obviously kind of a bit behind because it's the school holidays now, so the kids are laying in. So I'm behind on my schedule and, you know, I'm not kind of now filming at my normal time. So I think my family, my mum and my sisters are wanting to do FaceTime, so they keep phoning me. So that's why the film switched off again. So I'm just going to very quickly finish this page and then I'll go and give them a call and do the FaceTime thing. So there we go. Because we had been doing it at sort of lunchtime, but obviously where it's the holidays, everyone's sleeping in a bit, which is shifting everything back by about an hour. So I've been obviously behind on my filming, which means I'm therefore not ready to do the FaceTime. Right, so that's that piece. Now, just before I quickly finish, I just want to see if I've got any of those number tabs with the red writing, because I just thought, oh, they would look really good on there. Oh, now I can't see any. Isn't this just always the way? It's because I'm trying to now do it super quickly. Oh, where have I put them? Oh, I don't even know where I've put all my stuff now. So, oh, it's all getting very messy again. Right, let's just have a look. Have I got them here? No. Oh, how annoying. How annoying. Right, can't find any of my little red number tabs at the moment. Let me just double check whether I've got any in here. Hold on. Oh, no, I can't find any. Got some other colours, but I was really wanting a red one because I thought the red would look really awesome with the red roof there. I wonder if I could just have a little stamp. Oh, that's quite nice, to be honest. Perhaps I'll just do that instead. Ugh. I mean, I think with these blue book pages, the key is, you know, lots and lots of stuff. I mean, as I say, you know, I've never made one before, so I'm not claiming to be an expert or anything else. Definitely not. But I think more is more, which of course for me, as if I need any excuse for more is more. I love more is more. So yeah, for me, these are right up my street. Right, should we just have that there? So I'm just going to pop this vintage postage stamp down just there, and then just pop this flower down. Okay. Oops, like that. Just there. So yeah, hopefully you can all kind of see, you know, that coming together now. So love how that page looked. And yeah, obviously, as I say, I will kind of paint this page a bit, you know, matching slightly. Now, just going to pop a little tiny bit of extra paint on there. Really doesn't particularly even need it, to be honest, but I will just very quickly just pop a bit of extra on there, like that. Okay, just to cover up the little bit of book text that was in the background there. So there we go. Right, hope you like the little pages that we did today. And yeah, I mean, I'm loving how this eclectic book is coming along. So I hope you guys like it. And yeah, hopefully see you again soon. Thanks then. Bye.